Welcome back to another episode of Commanders Forever.
Today is August 10th, 2025, and we're getting our podcast up even before the likes of John Keim, because guess what?
We just went to Commanders training camp, and so...
Where did we go?
Commanders training camp. So, basically, some patient... Wait, you tell the story.
Well, all big shout out and thanks to my awesome patient and his wife who got us tickets to Military Appreciation Day. Thank you so much.
So, before we get started, I'm just going to list some of the signatures we got. And while I list these signatures, on the screen right now, a bunch of pictures from this training camp are going to show. So, okay. So these are, we believe, all the signatures I got on my football.
Autographs?
Yep, autographs. And actually, a picture of the football will show up, like, right now.
From the actual Commanders players?
Yep. Okay. So, starting off, in the beginning of camp, we got Mark Cloud, the team president, who apparently helped get RFK's site or whatever, try to get the new stadium. Cade Medrano, Tyler Ott, Mikey Sainristil, which we have a picture that should be showing right now. Austin Eckler. I think I have a picture with him, but not with him, just of him signing my thing. Zach Ertz. I have a picture of him signing my thing. Jonathan Jones, Demetric Felton, Jeremy Reeves, Wes Walker, Sam
Wes Welker?
Wes Walker.
6 Super Bowl championships with Tom Brady?
Yeah, Wes Walker.
Who is now like the receiver?
Wait, Wes Walker or Wes Welker?
Wes Welker.
Oh, Wes Welker. Let me fix that. Wes Welker. Along with, I got a picture with Sam Hartman, who, for just a second, a preseason game just happened, and he played terrible. He was like 9 for 19 and like 67 yards. Quan Martin, also got a picture with him.
Quan was my favorite person today.
Josh Johnson, I got his signature. I didn't get a picture with him. Colson Yankoff, at the very edge, right before he left, I quickly managed to get a signature from him. And also Alan George when we were leaving.
Now, all those people, the only person I've never heard of is Alan George. So that name may actually even be incorrect.
No, I double-checked on the depth chart. Also, you just heard the directions. And yes, we are on the way home from training camp and recording this. So, you might hear that a little more today. Okay. Before we get started, I actually forgot to mention this when we were recording the podcast, that I also got Jeremy Reeves and Percy Butler's signature. Do you have anything to say about the signatures before we get started?
Nothing more to add about the signatures, but let's go ahead and start with our impressions of the training camp. You can get started, Sakina. Tell us what you saw with your own eyes.
I just have one more thing to say. Jaden Daniels ran away very quickly. Okay, anyways. So what I saw in training camp, let's just start from the beginning of training camp, and then we'll get to scrimmages and all that. Let's start from the beginning. The very beginning. Stretches. I think you know what I'm about to say, so how about you say it?
Well, we saw players stretching to prevent injury.
And shout out to KJ Osborne, who was doing very cool, or I don't know if cool is the right word, but intense hamstring exercises.
So you can see people who take time to take care of their body before they start working out, to stretch appropriately, to maximize muscle perfusion, to decrease the risk of micro tears.
Okay, we get it. Just get to it.
I mean, you can see
there's a certain...
You can see who's a pro.
And there's a certain player who, they had a great day, but they didn't start their day off. Can you tell me who that player is?
I mean, if I have any worries right now, it's Deebo Samuel, who does not stretch before workouts. He's lazy out there. So when you're at practice or any summer camp, right? And sometimes people just don't do stretches. But when you're in the NFL and you are playing against real tacklers who can actually injure you, that's pretty important that you stretch. I mean, if you're a wide receiver, you really got to stretch.
Yeah, so on some of the stretchers like high knees, he'd do those, but he wouldn't put in the extra work to get on the ground, stretch out his hamstring. Like before practice, he was just talking. During team stretches, he wasn't putting in 100% of his stretch effort. So anyways, but other than that, that's it for stretches.
So Debo's preparation, I feel, was suboptimal, maybe reflective of a bigger problem. However, his play during the 7-on-7s.
No, we're not skipping a 7-on-7 that early. There were a lot of drills. I believe the first drill was special teams. On special teams, there were good players. Jalen Lane was pretty good. You know, there were a lot of good players on special. And I was very impressed with one of Tressway's punts. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
The one that he put right at the 1 yard line in the corner, which was almost uncatchable.
Yeah, so basically, I don't remember exactly who the player was. It might have been Ja'Cory Brooks, but one of the players, they're like, oh, this is going out of bounds. But because it was right close to the end zone for being a touchback, but it was also close to being out of bounds, so we were like, oh, that was a bad punt. But it landed right between there, so it was a most perfect punt. But that was for special teams. Also, what did you notice about Dan Quinn during special teams?
He was giving those special teams players a lot of tender love and care today.
But why was that?
Because their performance in the Friday night preseason game was so terrible. They gave up a 100-yard touchdown return. Their $6.3 million kicker missed a 49-yard field goal. I mean, and then they gave another 62-yard run back to our old friend Antonio Gibson. So special teams, they were out there first today. Dan Quinn was out there with them. He was in their ear. He was trying to get them into shape.
Yes, that was definitely something while I put away this precious football. Okay, anyways. So, yeah, special teams was they looked good at practice, but you could tell Dan Quinn really wanted to pay attention to them. But we didn't really get to see much defensive snaps, but we did get to see receiving. We got to see a drill where basically, let me explain the drill before we talk about what we saw in that drill. And we also got many good recording, so while we talk about it, maybe on the screen you might see it if I feel like editing that in, but if I don't feel like it, then you might not see the videos. But anyways, basically, the drill is Marcus Mariota's injured, right? Sam Hartman, Josh Jacobs, Josh Johnson, and Jaden Daniels. All three of them are, throwing the football. But then there's three groups: running back group, tight end group, and wide receiver group. They all basically they're in their groups, and one quarterback is going to throw to running backs, one to tight ends, and one to receivers. So basically they did different. What I think from this drill, I think they were each quarterback was assigned to a route, and then like the running backs would have to run that route. Tight ends and receivers.
We have some video of this drill.
Yeah. So while I talk about this drill, I'm going to show some videos, but right now I don't think it's going to be playing.
But I have some observations about that specific exercise.
But before we get to it, basically, for example, let's say Terry McLaurin wasn't playing. So Debo Samuel, Zach Ertz, and Brian Robinson. Let's say Mr. Jaden Daniels throws like a little in route, and then like Josh Johnson throws to like the running back and throws like some route, and then Sam Hartman throws to someone else, and then to the tight end, and then basically they rotate, and it's cool, and you get to see it because we were actually in the corner of the facility, so we saw the corner of the end zone, and we saw many throws. So right now you'll see these throws while we talk about some observation.
So there's a clear difference between the three quarterbacks. You can tell that on these drills. Josh Johnson cannot throw the ball deep. Honestly, Mr. Hartman he's so inaccurate. He's wide of a lot of his targets. And of course, Jaden Daniels was completely perfect. I mean, to the millimeter, he's throwing these passes.
Also, I was like, you know what? I want to take a video. Wow, look, a cannon on this. There's a 1800s cannon on some pickup truck. That looks cool. Anyways, I was like, I'm getting videos of these catches, but I want to get a picture of the exact catch. So while I'm taking a video, Benson running probably the last route, I click a button, camera button, right? And then the picture, which I'll try to show right now if I'm editing, and all of this, hopefully, I'll be editing in. Otherwise, I'm just saying things. But Ben Sinnott catches a one-handed catch. And, like, look at this catch. It's so insane. He catches it with one hand in the corner of the end zone. So that was very good, and we know Ben Sinnott didn't have a great season, but whenever he got the ball last season, he was good. Like that one little trick play or whatever against the NFC Championship. So anything else?
Well, I think the other big thing that we noticed during these, especially, they emphasized passing in the red zone a lot, and those receivers could not get open. And I'm telling you, this Terry McLaurin contract situation is turning into a radioactive problem.
Yeah, so basically, the depth chart, I don't know exactly what it is, but I'm pretty sure the depth chart is Terry McLaurin and Deebo Samuel. So, no. Terry McLaurin for wide receiver 1 is like wide receiver 1 for wide receiver 1s, and then wide receiver 2 for wide receiver 1s is Luke McCaffrey. For wide receiver 2s, the number...
I'm saying even Noah Brown was in.
Listen. Oh, yeah, he's injured.
Top 2 receivers.
Okay, no. So, basically, there's the wide receiver 1, 2, 3, right? So, the number 1 wide receiver 1 that you want on the field, Terry McLaurin. Second one is Luke McCaffrey. For wide receiver 2s, it's Deebo Samuel's the number 1 for 2s. And then the second is Noah Brown. Or Noah Brown might be wide receiver 3. I'm not fully sure, but that's what I think the depth chart is. But
that's not the depth chart. The depth chart is Terry McLaurin is number 1, Noah Brown is number 2, and Deebo is number 3.
It is not that. I will check right now the depth chart because you like to make things up. You want to see the depth chart? And in fact, I'm going to
My point is simple.
I'm making things hard for myself because I'm going to make me edit the depth chart picture onto this right now. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that because I don't want to.
Bottom line is...
No. I have to do this. Terry McLaurin is the starting wide receiver 1. Luke McCaffrey is the backup. Wide receiver 2 is Deebo Samuel. Backup Jalen Lane. Wide receiver 3 Noah Brown. Backup Michael Gallup. So
you're playing this. You're practicing without your top 2 receivers, basically.
Yeah. So basically, what the depth chart looked like at practice was Deebo Samuel wide receiver 1, Luke McCaffrey wide receiver 2, Jalen Lane wide receiver 3. And then a bunch of other backups, which we don't really need to talk about.
Sakina, do you think you can kind of tell what's happening to somebody by observing their body language? What did you think about Luke McCaffrey's body language this entire practice?
That is something I forgot to mention. In the beginning of practice, receivers were practicing. They were throwing the ball, catching it, making catches, like just to each other.
In 2 miles, take exit 38 on the left to merge onto I-270 north toward Rockville.
Okay. Anyways... Deebo Samuel was making like all these people, even like Ja'Cory Brown, even like Chris Moore and the backup of the backup of the backups were like with somebody talking or doing something. But Luke McCaffrey, which I'm happy that he's practicing individually, but he's practicing his route running by himself. And I mean, this is not like the coaches are not saying a specific drill; they're just warming up before practice officially starts. Luke McCaffrey's working on route running with nobody, but it's not just he's working on route running; it's that he has no friends. So that's a little problematic, but he was doing pretty good in drills. He caught most of
in 1.3 miles.
So, you've played on championship teams. How important is it for you to have chemistry with your teammates? Like, how important?
It's very, very important. Right now, I'm still looking at the depth chart for some reason. I just want to say randomly, Bobby Hart played basically,
Who?
Bobby Hart is like the third string right tackle, but he was, and I remember he gave up a sack in the preseason game on Friday. And why are you doing this weird Wi-Fi thing to the phone? But basically, Bobby Hart gave up a sack, But basically, I think Von Miller immediately, I think it was 7-on-7s, he immediately got off, Bobby Hart literally did nothing. And I don't think they want to hurt Jaden Daniels, so Von Miller just pretended to get in his face and then so that he could go out and throw the pass because they don't want to actually tackle him. But he's terrible. Anyways.
My point is Luke McCaffrey looked like a lost boy in the mall looking for his mommy. Nobody even talks to him.
Anyways.
He's in trouble, baby.
On defense, the only time we really saw defense was on 7-on-7. Also for just a second. So yeah, we'll start off at the beginning of 7-on-7s. Jaden Daniels played pretty good. He was playing good. Deebo Samuel was like his number one, like, since obviously his number one target is Terry McLaurin, and we saw last year he loved to pass to Terry McLaurin, just pass, right? He kind of was doing that with Deebo Samuel, which makes me think that when the season starts, if Terry McLaurin gets a little bit of practice in and is ready for the season, then Terry McLaurin is going to be, it's going to be just a great receiver room. Like, Deebo Samuel, obviously, this was not, like, as intense as any NFL game will ever be, but Deebo Samuel was playing like a wide receiver one. Now, in the game, I don't know if that's going to be, really the case, but if he plays like a wide receiver one at the wide receiver two position, then that's, like, great.
And Zach Ertz was amazing again in those 7-on-7s. Every time he needed a touchdown, boom, Zach Ertz is there.
Yep. So basically, Deebo Samuel was like that. Zach Ertz was usual Zach Ertz. Jaden tried to target McCaffrey a few times, but since I said earlier about that depth chart thing, technically the depth chart, like, as of this practice, not the unofficial depth chart or whatever. Like, because of injuries and hold-ins of Terry McLaurin, it was Deebo, Luke McCaffrey, and then, like, Jalen Lane, and then whoever, right? So, I'm pretty sure Marshawn Lattimore was on Deebo Samuel, but Trey Amos was on, not Jalen Lane. He was on, what's his name? Who did I just say? 1 second ago. Trey Amos was on Luke McCaffrey. And so Luke, he forced 2 incompletions when Jaden targeted him twice in a row. And Trey Amos was playing very well. Luke McCaffrey was getting open, but then got shut down by Trey Amos because Trey Amos is really good. So it's good that we're seeing both of those things from both of those people. But then, what happened after kind of the halftime of the 7-on-7?
Well, there was a field goal drill, and Mr. Matt Gay missed another field goal.
No, that's not the point of it. He missed his last field goal, which was from 60-something yards.
No, he also missed his first field goal, I think, which was from near.
He did not miss his first field goal. Stop listening to this man. He doesn't pay attention.
It looked missed to me.
No, it just wasn't right down the middle. But anyways, he made all his field goals, and it got further and further. They backed up for each field goal he made. And I mean, we don't know the exact distance, but I'm pretty sure he hit a 50-something yarder. He obviously couldn't hit a 60-yarder because that was really far back. I'm pretty sure they were at, like, the midfield or something. Anyways, but Matt Gay was pretty good at practice. We know he wasn't good at the preseason game. What about the second half of 7-on-7s?
The offense could not get into the end zone. The situation deteriorated to the point where practice ended.
Okay, that is not why practice ended. It's because there's not enough time or whatever. But anyways, Jaden just couldn't score. So,
Jaden stayed after practice with the receivers and did some work. A lot of people just stayed after practice was over to practice.
Yeah, so most of the people, like, for maybe 10 minutes, they just were practicing with their group, their position group, or with their private coach, like, with their position coach, like, wide receiver coaches were talking to the people, and then Jaden Daniels was talking with his little quarterbacks coach. And how you mentioned Josh Johnson can't throw deep? You did not see that in the...
Wobbly.
You couldn't see that in the drill where there's the 3 quarterbacks and all the different position groups.
Short and wobbly.
So basically, after practice, they were just throwing deep balls to these receivers, and they were just practicing catching it. It was not really official, just kind of them getting better. Josh Johnson did it from the same distance as Jaden Daniels, and it was not a very good football.
Well, I think we got to wrap it up. Any final thoughts? Whose autograph were you the most excited to get?
Like, that I actually got?
Yeah.
Let's see. I really liked getting Mike Sanistros, and I liked Quan Martins a lot. But, well, excited to get, I really wanted to get Mike Sanistro.
All right. Well, thank you guys.
Wait. Today, instead, if we have any pictures that have not been showed throughout this episode, in our little outro, those pictures are going to be shown. So don't just leave. Or we used all the pictures, so you can just leave.
And I have a message for Adam Peters. Dude.
Hey, Terry McLaurin.
Terry McLaurin needs to be out there practicing with this team. Him not being there is making all the receivers play out of their natural positions, and it is really hurting the passing game.
Exactly. So, anyways, that's it. But, yeah, these players were all very good. And yeah, and Jeremy McNichols is playing very well too today. But basically, oh yeah, also one more thing. Brian Robinson, during the 7-on-7s in the first half when it was away from our side, he did play really well. He he just broke, even though the field's only 60 yards because the 30 is midfield, but he basically broke free and got a touchdown, but it's obviously practice, so it's not officially a touchdown. But it was a very nice play by Brian Robinson, and I think he looks very happy, and he's going to be...
I agree. Brian Robinson looked like a star today.
So he's going to be very good. He's obviously the RB1, and that's it. So, bye.